Welcome back to the Jake and Dan channel, folks. I wish this could be on happier occasions. We're responding to the COVID-19 outbreak that's happening. I'm sure you've heard about it.
Yep, we just wanted to give you, as usual, our 2 cents about, the matter and, just kind of hopefully break it down for you guys, what's going on in the world and, try to give you a little bit of facts, a little bit of, opinion. And that's what we do best here.
That's right. Yeah, this is obviously being blown up, excuse me, to extreme proportions, historic proportions, as everybody says, unprecedented events, and and it is, and I can understand that it's very, it's very strange and disturbing to people going about their daily lives.
Yeah.
But best said, partner, you're gonna be okay. We're gonna make it through this just fine.
You are, and absolutely, insane, but completely typical, and just what they do best of, the big media.
Sensationalism.
Yep.
And making people uprise with fear and anger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not what we need right now.
And this is coming from all media outlets. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter Republican, liberal, whatever. Every single media outlet is covering this. Even on, the local radio stations, they are saying, wash your hands, be careful.
Yep, with every
stay away from people, stay inside.
And it's not just, I mean, we've had these before. We've been through these. We go through these every few years. But the variable that's changed here and that's gotten more evolved is that now they have a direct tap into every single part of your life. Every time you open your phone, there's a half a dozen more reports, more things that could scare you and get you up in arms. It's everywhere. You can't turn on a TV, you can't open your phone, you can't do anything without hearing about this. And essentially, I understand why it happens because it's very scary, but it's making mass pandemonium. And it's not right.
Yeah, that was a great point, he brought up earlier, and we were discussing, what he was saying, it's just so different, a few years, if you look it up, every election year, there's a mass hysteria, disease or whatever you want to call it, A couple years ago was Ebola.
Yep.
A few years before that,
H1N1.
Yep. H1N1, swine flu, the avian flu, mad cow disease. I mean, there's always something that they want to freak you out about. And, just like he just said, but now it's completely different because they get at you every single minute of your day pretty much. People who still watch TV, there, obviously. The radio, even. Everybody's on Facebook and on their phones. Ads are constantly popping up.
Yep. Twitter.
Yep.
Facebook.
Snapchat. Your YouTube
everything.
Ads. I mean, every single thing is there to scare you. And
I'm a YouTube Premium subscriber. I don't get ads, and I still get suggested YouTube videos about how to protect myself from coronavirus.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's off the charts. It really is.
And I guess that brings us to our next point of the media trying to, like we said, cause mass hysteria. Especially every election year. Obviously, as most of you know, and I don't care if you're a liberal and just don't want to face the facts, but Trump was doing great for the economy and America. The Dow pretty much every day was hitting record marks.
Yep. Consistent.
We were booming. Unemployment was at a record low. People were off food stamps and welfare. Things were going relatively good. As far as economy wise. And what do they try to do right before the election?
Is completely erased.
They try to derail it so far and so hard. So hard left. It's absolutely pandemonium, and it's incredible.
It is, and the thing that the media was touting the most that I heard every single news report yesterday, which would have been the 18th of March, here in the U.S. obviously is that all of the quote unquote, all of the gains that was done by Trump's economy and the stock market had been completely erased, and that was the thing that I kept hearing over and over and over. Is that a coincidence? I think not, right?
No.
Whether this is, I don't want to say weaponized virus, but no matter the origins, they're blowing it up to make it something that I understand it's serious, and I understand people want to take it seriously, and that's okay.
But you can take seriously when you get sick regularly. There's absolutely no difference. You know, there's your regular flu, which people get every year. Obviously, you know, some people get sick multiple times a year. You know, and if you're already not sick, you know, with like a serious disease, or, you know, if you're really old or obviously, you know, an infant, then you're going to pull out of it and be fine.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at, we just got some basic information from the CDC, and on the coronavirus, you got it from CNN, so take that for how you want. But according to the CDC, for influenza, we're talking A, B, C, D, your run-of-the-mill.
Your regular, no COVID-19, none of that.
Your regular flu. Every year, and well, this was for the 2017 to 2018 flu year. They said that between 3 and 11% of the U.S. population got the flu, and that would have worked out about 10.5 million up to 40 million people, which is a yearly figure. That's usually what happens. And in that flu season, there was 80,000 people who unfortunately died from it.
Yeah, and guess what? Not one news story about it. You know, it wasn't blown up at all. It wasn't even mentioned, you know, in your regular news. Nobody heard about it. Nobody remembered it.
Yeah, and
because it happens every year.
Right, and it got a little bit of coverage just because it was an abnormally high flu year, but it wasn't off the charts. Oh my gosh, we're all going to die like everything.
Yeah, all they might say is, you know, this year's flu vaccine is, you know, maybe not as effective or a little bit more effective. You know. Just little blurbs that, you know, most just local news will cover.
Bottom of the page behind all of the Trump hating, essentially. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then compare that to coronavirus, COVID-19, and like I said, this information's from CNN. As of today, the deaths are 150 out of an approximated 9,000 confirmed cases. So we're talking
in the U.S. only.
In the United States. Thank you. So you're talking 1.6% of
of those 9,000 people.
Yeah, we're talking 1.6 of the people who were known to have had the confirmed cases of coronavirus, unfortunately have died. But we're talking 1.6%, which, come on, folks, you have a better chance of getting in an auto accident. It has been mentioned many times before, but you still go out and drive, right? Like, I understand you want to be safe, you want to be careful. I'm all for that. But why are we grinding everything to a complete halt in order to accomplish this?
And then when you take that death number, and then, you know, compare it to the United States population, I mean, you're talking 0.000, you know, percent here, which is absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Any other form of death, really, is way more prevalent.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's more lightning strike deaths in the U.S.
Yeah, people get kicked in the head by a horse before and they die from a coronavirus. I mean, come on.
I know this is a morbid thing to talk about. We're just spitting out facts here.
I mean, it's just facts.
If we're gonna get all scared and up in arms and everybody's saying, "Oh my gosh, you're probably gonna die because of this," you gotta face the music, folks. It's being blown up, and it's being blown up for a reason. Everybody's got to realize. Any possible way that they can twist this in the news, they have.
Exactly.
You were talking to me earlier about how they made it racial. How they said that Trump's talking about the virus was racial. What were we saying there?
Exactly. Some news outlets, some obvious Hollywood left, and also some, you know, pretty left political leaders out there are saying that this is, you know, some people are racist because they're calling it a China virus, which, you know, this can go off on another tangent, but basically, if you're calling a person from their country of origin, that's just what they are. You know, the term Mexican isn't racist. They're from Mexico.
If I
The
saw
term a Japanese person is Japanese. That's not racist. Same with this China. You know, the virus obviously started in China and Wuhan. You know,
we know where it originated from, and they said it was so dangerous to link. How do they say it? To basically link a virus with its originating country or region. But why? I mean, it's just a fact. Why do we have to politically correcticize that? If it's just a known fact that something that happened. If it originated in California, we could call it the California virus.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness sakes.
But that's just, you know, folks, that's just more evidence and proof that they're trying to make this more political per usual, just like they do everything. More political than, you know, your well-being, I guess. You know, Deborah Messing, the actress from Will and Grace, came out and said that she hopes all Trump supporters die of coronavirus. More
or less, yeah.
You know, yeah, she literally said that. So I mean,
yeah, including making America great again, people. Like it's just reaching a fever pitch. No pun intended. That it's just everybody settle down. We're gonna be all right. I'm sure you've seen the Dave Ramsey video. It's gonna be fine. We are resilient. The market's resilient, just like he said. We're gonna be okay.
And going back to the facts and the numbers, listen, then 150 people have died in the United States. Okay. And now think about, because I'm sure it's happened wherever you're watching this from, whatever state, whatever city. Think of the pandemonium and the hysteria that it has caused just from the media hype up.
Yep.
Less than 150 deaths, people, and
when you go to your
stores
local
are
supermarkets,
empty. You know, there's places running out of gas. There's, you know,
everybody's out of toilet paper for some reason. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely insane. You know, so normal people who just need to go grocery shopping can't even go
groceries.
Because all these sheep who listen to the media and they're saying, "Oh man, I gotta go out and buy toilet paper," and they go out and buy the whole freaking shelf. And then same with, you know, all the food. You know, all the food's gone. It's just absolutely insane.
We've all seen evidence of this. If you scroll through your Facebook feeds or whatever, you see people whose carts are leveled off with milk, gallons of milk. And it's like you're robbing that of anybody else who just happens to need milk that week, or anybody else who wants to have the possibility of eating cereal, just over something like this. And what are you going to do with all the milk?
Yeah, how much milk can you drink, people? You can't store that, sorry.
No.
It's going to go bad. Yeah. Same with the eggs, you know. I went to the store the other day. There's no eggs at all.
Yeah. So would you rather have it rotten and expiring in your fridge or feeding your neighbor?
Yep.
Seriously.
Everybody buying out, you know, everything. It's affecting, you know, people's lives in major ways. You know, even people like us who don't buy into the media hype at all.
Yep.
You know.
Consume very little of it.
Exactly. But you know, we try to not ignore it because we obviously, you know, have seen the news, but we don't get freaked out about it. But it is starting to affect our lives, our daily lives. And, you know, luckily not us, but even more so people who have lost their job because of this, or at least, you know, have been laid off from it.
Yep.
You know, there's already, you know, you can't even go out to dinner. You know, at least, you know, in Michigan, the governor, you can't go out to dinner past 3 p.m. Actually, now I don't think you can go out, period, because there's a rule that there can't be groups of more than 50 people.
I think they said 10.
Yeah, it might be 10 now. So I mean, think about that, people. They're completely controlling your lives in a matter of days. That's how crazy this has gone.
And everybody's completely submitted to it. Think about how far this can go.
Exactly. You know, they're already shutting down major things, you know, companies that you never think would succumb to this. Walmart, you know, for us, you know, Meijer here is a pretty big one. You know, they're not 24-hour anymore. They're cutting hours real low. You know, they're shutting down parks.
Yeah. Shopping malls.
Yeah, shopping malls. They're, it's basically, they're on the footsteps, or on the front steps of declaring martial law.
I mean, think about how easily they could do that.
How easily it's already happened. People basically just, just be like, okay, well, I guess I'll just stay in my house and not do anything and, not have my job and whatever, where, you got to put your foot down. We hate to get off on this tangent, but that's why the founding fathers put in a well-armed militia.
Yeah.
For stuff exactly like this. So when the government and the media, who are intertwined, want to try to freak you out and declare martial law, and you can't go anywhere, you can't even drive, you're taking away every single personal liberty.
Exactly.
That's when the people should put their foot down, especially when they should be smart enough in situations like this to where, this isn't some disease to where if you step outside, your innards are gonna, just evaporate, or you're gonna get, immediate cancer. It's the flu, people. You're gonna have a sore throat, stuffy nose, and maybe a headache, and not feel good.
It's gonna be uncomfortable for a little while.
For a week, and you'll be done with it, just like any other year.
Yep.
So it's just one more thing to think about that we're trying to throw out here.
We're not even crazy like doomsday prepper kind of people. We're just regular people saying you shouldn't let yourselves get so hyped up that you totally submit to people, like you said, taking your personal liberties away.
Yep.
That's what we're afraid of, is exactly that, how easily it could happen, how easily it's already started, and it can't happen. I mean, it's got to stop.
Yeah, it's got to stop.
And it will.
It's gotta, and it's gonna.
And it's gonna. I mean, this obviously is.
But the point is, we're trying to make this for, the future as well.
Right. We got to learn from this.
Yeah. What do we do? History always repeats itself. You learn from your mistakes.
Yep.
So in the future, and hopefully a lot of our viewers, and I wouldn't think so, aren't sheep.
Oh, hell no, they're not sheep.
So, so just spread the word to your more leftist friends or whoever, or a little bit more slower. First off, you should just quit watching MSNBC and CNN because it's nothing but pure garbage and you're not getting any sort of, value and whatever from it. Stick to your local news if you're just going to, watch the news, period. So there's that. And
don't believe everything that you read. First of all,
yeah.
We're not saying that everything is fake, but you've got to select and you've got to rationalize and be logical with what you're intaking here. And like he's saying, we're not completely ignoring everything and just going, oh, well, we're not going to listen to anything anybody says. But we're taking everything logically and being reasonably suspicious about anything that we hear. And we're not ingesting everything that's being said. You have to limit yourself to some of these things. Otherwise, you're just going to work yourself up.
Yep.
For no reason.
Yeah, and look, this pretty much just goes for life advice, period. If you're hearing something that sounds a little off to you, step back, think about it, and analyze on your own. Yep. Don't immediately believe them. Don't be so gullible to where you go out and buy the whole shelf of toilet paper.
Yep, just because you heard from somebody something.
Yeah, when you already have, a whole closet full of toilet paper. I mean, come on.
Yeah, how much do you really need? Yep.
Yeah.
Think logically, just like the Dave Ramsey video. Just
and then
don't be panicked. And
going off of that, I guess, the next thing we can talk about is the economy, which we kind of hit it on earlier, that it's sank about 10,000 points. The Dow just closed at around 20,000 points. And yeah, that's obviously a big hit, and that's exactly what they wanted. That's what the media and the deep state wanted to happen. And
so that the Democratic Party can come and save the day.
Yep, exactly. Which is not going to happen.
First of all.
Because they don't have any good candidates, but once again, that's for another video.
Right.
So the economy, just like we were saying earlier about that Dave Ramsey video we watched.
Mm-hmm. Very great video.
The economy is very resilient, and so is this country. Everything will bounce back,
And much quicker than you would think it will.
Yeah, we just learned that after 9/11, so way bigger than this, actual, major deaths and obviously destruction.
And terrible things.
It only took 50, because the economy obviously took a big hit when that happened. It only took 57 days.
Yep, about 2 months.
To recover from 9/11. Okay, so, if you're worried about, the economy going under or, these stores being out of, supplies for a long period of time or closing, just like we just said a couple minutes ago, step back, calm down.
Yep.
It will be, it's going to be all right because once again,
it'll come back.
We're resilient.
Now the difference, Jake, there, and something I want to make clear, and something that we can learn from, is 9/11 in 2001. Obviously, things were a whole lot different. The media was a whole lot different, but the big rebound that we saw less than 2 months after that happened in the stock market, in the overall economy, was the media and people in the country rallying behind their country, right? Something bad has happened to us.
Yep.
We're going to stand up. We're going to correct it. We're going to come back better than we ever have. And that was, I think, overwhelmingly what the media was pushing at the time, which I think should be, right? It's a good nationalistic view on things, and it's a way to come back harder than you fell. And now it seems the opposite of that. It's like, it's all doomsday. Oh, we're the worst. We're terrible. Everybody's going to die. Things are not looking good. The economy's crap. We need to rally behind everybody. Rally behind this country. Rally behind what you believe in. And we'll come back like we've never come back before. In short order. We're going to be all right.
Yep, that's a great point. I mean, and it goes off to what we were saying a little bit earlier, of... now, obviously the media, has done a completely 180. It's super biased. There's really no just actual facts and news out there. So, and, like we said earlier, everybody has a voice now, with social media. So, you have all these dumbass celebrities coming, saying it's Trump's fault, saying this is racist, saying don't be mad at China and whatever,
Yeah, and the problem with that is everybody's taking the opinion of these celebrities and holding them in much higher regard than their common person. When they really have no, they have no say in it. They have maybe no knowledge of the subject or very little or less than you. So why would you take what they say to mean more than what you'd think or what somebody else would say? And it's terrible. It's exactly true.
But I mean, just from a pure economic standpoint, though, it's going to bounce back.
Yep.
No matter where we're at in history, even in 2008, when it took a real bad turn, obviously.
Yeah. What? It was like
it was like, it was
year
under,
and a half?
yeah, it was about a year. Maybe, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Times were tough.
Yeah.
And it came back. Just like it'll come back now. This is a real short-term thing. This is a real temporary thing. And this is something that's completely driven by panic and hysteria. Yep. So that we need to avoid that. Everybody take a deep breath. Stop panicking. Put down the toilet paper. We're going to be all right.
Exactly. And once again, we're not trying to be preachy.
Right.
We're just trying to, give you guys, our opinion and a little bit of facts.
Right. Hopefully we can learn from everything.
Exactly. So, hopefully you watch this. And even people who don't watch this, stop hoarding everything, because maybe somebody actually needs toilet paper or meat or what have you. So stop hoarding everything. Yeah, quit consuming everything you hear and see on Facebook and the news and what have you, You just got to quit or your life will be ran by them. It's simple as that.
Point blank. That's pretty true.
Okay, folks, that's our take on it. Hopefully you guys agree and hopefully you can spread the word. Obviously, make sure to like and subscribe and share the video.
And comment too. We want to know how you're feeling on this.
Absolutely.
Bring on the hate, please. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to, if there is some sort of counter, argument to what we have said, by all means, say it.
No, Jake, I think we should panic.
Yep.
Yeah, we want to see that, please.
Yeah. For, tuning in to another episode of the Jake and Dan Show.
Thanks, folks.